Hello, welcome. This is Juan Valencia. I am a community organizer at Imperial Valley Equity and Justice Coalition. We're a community power building organization advocating for social and environmental justice and health equity. And this is TAS en el Valle. TAS, of course, stands for Tierra, Agua y Salud, land, water, and health, which are the topics of conversation regarding our community's developments that we're most interested in exploring as we dive into some exciting advancements going on around the Salton Sea region. And yes, that pun was intended, obviously. So why don't we go ahead and start there with the Salton Sea. I know most people in Imperial County have at least seen this place, but many only know it as that huge and very random body of water on the drive to LA. And I say this quite frankly from personal experience, given that prior to my position as community organizer for IV Equity, that was honestly the full range of my knowledge regarding such a massive and important part of Imperial County's geography and ecosystem. In actuality, the Salton Sea and its surrounding desert region play such a crucial role in our entire county's health and well-being, and sadly this is often a negative role due to the immense amounts of restoration that this area calls for. Drying of seawaters due to heat, pollution from agricultural runoff, the health-related risks that its fumes and dust pose for the surrounding communities and for the entire county, etc., etc. Yes, the Salton Sea has very tragically been surrounded by a history of neglect and environmental hazards, which has at times even meant the loss of human life at the hands of its effects on our community's health. Now, however, in 2023, we're seeing a different kind of development going on, and not precisely at the Salton Sea, but in its surrounding areas. And this is a development that can be equal times as concerning and contentious as the previous developments, which have posed such great health and environmental risks for our community. However, this development is different in that for the first time in the region's history since the Salton Sea's hopeful days as a desert resort paradise, it is offering our valley a chance to grow, heal, and further develop towards an infrastructure and economy that has the potential to greatly benefit us, the people of Imperial County. Now, many are already aware, I'm sure, but I certainly wasn't prior to my position as a community organizer, so I relay the same information to you all with the same enthusiasm and initial shock as the news were delivered to me. So, there is lithium around the Salton Sea region. Like a lot of it, like millions of dollars worth of it. And the extraction efforts for this lithium are already well underway. Experts estimate the region could satisfy more than 1/3 of today's global lithium demand. Now, I understand that this is hopeful and exciting in the best of ways. It certainly was for me when I first learned about it. Just learning how all the once seemingly unreachable hopes and dreams for this valley are now a very real possibility is frankly enough to get me reeling for hours. I mean, just imagine education centers and university extensions for the purposes of training a new Imperial Valley workforce on lithium extraction. Imagine career opportunities centered on lithium, leading to specialized jobs that pay a livable wage, and these would be jobs centered in the valley and for people of the valley. Imagine using that money for restoration plans for the Salton Sea that champion effective and environmentally conscious methods, and this leading to a better standard of living and better health for the people of Bombay Beach, of Nyland, of Calipatria, and the entire valley. Imagine what this could mean towards fixing and caring for our roads, our scenery, our wildlife. Like I said, the imagination does run wild because this development has truly given us Imperial County people a chance to dream and work towards a goal in a way that is quite unique and historic. However, as you might expect, these dreams and goals are not the only possibility that this new development known as Lithium Valley might bring for our community. In fact, as the land being proposed for lithium extraction has already been divided up among the 3 companies leading to this development, And just as an aside, these three companies are Energy Source, Controlled Thermal Resources, and BHE Renewables. And geothermal plant developments are already cropping up near Nyland and Calipatria, and legislative and environmental tensions and arguments have already presented themselves by the handful, because it is important to keep ensuring that this is beneficial to our communities and environment, and not just for the pockets of a few people. For instance, a very big and recent topic of discussion and legislative decision-making involving taxes, and specifically how the lithium extraction would be taxed and how that tax money would then be used. In June 2022, Governor Newsom signed Senate Bill 125, which imposed a lithium extraction tax to help ensure that the economically depressed areas surrounding the Salton Sea receive economic benefits from the nearby emerging lithium extraction industry. So SB 125 states that 80% of tax revenues from lithium will go directly to Imperial County. So to give you a clear picture of what this means, should one company produce 20,000 tons of lithium in its first year, the state will generate $8 million in tax revenues, of which $6.4 million would go to Imperial County. Moreover, in February of this year, Senate Bill 797 was also introduced, establishing a lithium tax oversight committee that will ensure the taxes that Imperial County receives from lithium extraction will be implemented conscientiously and effectively towards bettering our community. Now, these were heated legislative decisions that were super important in ensuring that the development of Lithium Valley will mean development for our community as a whole. Oh, and what will that other 20% of the taxes go towards, you may ask? Well, we return to our friend, the Salton Sea. So the remaining 20% of the collected lithium tax will go towards restoration efforts for the much neglected and endangered sea and its surrounding environment. So currently there is a Salton Sea management program, which one can only assume will be placed in charge of these restoration projects. Still, even though there has been success in continuing to ensure that lithium profits benefit our community and that our environmental concerns are addressed, we're still at the beginning stages of Lithium Valley. The distribution of these taxes still poses a duty to keep ensuring their administration is beneficial for us, and though 20% of the taxes have been allocated to the Salton Sea restoration efforts, there is still much to define as to what these efforts will look like and how they will be handled in a way that is conscious of environmental well-being and of the health of the Imperial Valley people that live in its surrounding communities. So, this is where we are with Lithium Valley thus far. And currently in 2023, the development of new geothermal plants that will have the added feature of lithium extraction is still well underway. So currently there are at least 11 geothermal plants in the southeast of the Salton Sea that are already extracting brine from underground to produce energy, and they will now extract lithium from that brine. BHE Renewables has already proposed 3 new plants to be built in its geothermal regions surrounding Calipatria and Nyland, and these proposals are being met with enthusiasm from the community, but also with concern from environmental groups and members of Imperial's tribes, particularly, with concern being voiced around the construction's water usage and its treatment of sacred native land. As you can see, even with development in full motion, there is still loads of environmental and social work to do in order to ensure the positive impacts of Lithium Valley. And as the conversation continues, part of the work that we hope to keep doing here at IV Equity is to keep including you in the conversation as much as possible. Through this podcast and through community meetings and exciting social media updates and outreach events, it is our mission to ensure that Lithium Valley is a project that is set in motion by us all. So here at TAS in el Valle, you can expect coverage of the new developments going on in the north end of our county, interviews with experts weighing in on such developments and their environmental and social impacts, and just all-around informative and hopefully illuminating conversations centered around our valley, lithium, and our vibrant and diverse community. So that is all the time we have today, but please be sure to tune in next time where we will dive deeper into the details surrounding the environment and communities near the proposed Lithium Valley development. And I also promise to stop using that dive pun after this first episode. So until then, this has been Juan, and don't forget, TAS en el Valle.